Guess I'll have to add that to my list of things to do, along with drinking some coffee, decaf, because I'm kind of boring like that. So we're just back to doing some composition, fiddling around here. I'm just kind of getting things set up. Anyone who's watching, thank you for coming in. And right now I'm working on an album called When the Last Heart Breaks. I don't know where this album is going to fall in my album release cycle. I have completely written 2 other albums. Well, really 3 other albums. I've got a blues album completely written. But that's for whenever. That one, the blues album, will be available to come out when I'm ready to sing. So we'll see when that is. But I wrote a song last Thursday off of this album called The Lonely Zombie. We had some fun doing that. So far on this album, I have written I Choke on My Words, The Well of Descent, The Lonely Zombie, The Crown and the Conquest, Anxiously Waiting, and the Fifth Horseman. That was very fun to write. I got a kick out of that one. That's kind of a cool little piece. The other 4 pieces on here I have got drums laid out for, and so we're gonna pick one of those. And it looks like overall this is kind of a more upbeat kind of an album. Looks like the Crown of the Conquest is a little on the slower side. And what's going on with the Well of Descent? Okay. Oh, yeah. It's going to be an interesting one. So we'll see what happens there. So I've got my choices for today. These are all higher speed kind of things, more kind of upbeat metal. So I got Black Moon Rising, It Must Simply Be, Walk Down the Path, and If Yesterday Could Bleed. That's a cool title. Let's do If Yesterday Could Bleed. I'm kind of liking the sound of that. If Yesterday Could Bleed. Yeah, that's good. I gotta say, I'm pretty pleased with my ability to come up with song titles. All right, so let's get. Oh, that's not the panel I want. Wait, did that? Okay. Whoa. Okay. What have I gotten? Oh, okay. I see what I got going on here. Kinda, sorta. Let's get this so I can actually see my staves. Get back to If Yesterday Could Bleed. And I'll usually pull up my drums, bass, one guitar. It's usually a good place to start. I tend to write drums first, and then I get into bass and guitar. And once I in that, sometimes I do bass first, sometimes I do guitar first, sometimes I kind of do them simultaneously. And then after that, I'll put in any orchestration, pianos, synths that I might want to put in. Sometimes I'll get those ideas, of course, in advance, and I've definitely learned to not wait on an idea. If it hits and it's like, oh, you need some piano here, it's like, at least take a note of it. Put in there that's happening. So first, let's just kind of get a feel for what's going on with the drums here. I feel like it's possible. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's go back to where we just were here. And I found in this particular program, it's really good to put in your expression markers to get your volumes correct. That's what we're looking for. Okay. So I've got this little note here saying that we want some kind of upbeat guitars in that slower drum section. I can work with that. I can work with that. And then we got kind of an intro and an A section and an intro. Back to the A section. Break. How many sections do we got in here? So we got intro, A, break, B, C. Okay. So kind of 3 parts in a breakdown area. I can work with that. We're going to just highlight some things here and reorganize this a touch. All right. That's a little easier to look at. Kind of feeling right here, I'm just going to want some kind of eighth notes hanging out there. So I guess I should pick a key here. What keys have I got represented in this so far? Let's see. We've got some... What do we got here? We got some D minor, E minor, G sharp minor, of course. We also have G sharp minor on Crown of the Conquest. Multiple G sharp minor. Rad. Fans are going to love that. We got some C minor here. Is that C minor or G Phrygian? It looks like C minor. And this one is E Phrygian here. I think I'm kind of feeling the low notes on that one. Let's go to an F minor in this case. That way I won't be straight E minor to E Phrygian. And I might actually end up changing this to a Phrygian with a name like this. The Phrygian, in my opinion, is just a bit more aggressive. It can kind of have a bit of an exotic feel to it. And particularly with the heavy story guitars, that half step between the one and the two. Versus if I did the same thing in a natural minor. Just a slightly different level of aggression. They're both cool, aggressive in different ways. So I'm kind of thinking, I think I'm kind of digging the Phrygian idea. So let's go to 5 flats. Going to be a B flat minor. And that is the equivalent to an F Phrygian. I think we're just going to start right out with the 1 and the 2. Just kind of following the drums there. Oops. Yeah, that'll work. I'm just going to let my Discord folks know that I'm online with my big, massive Discord. Huge. Like, 7 or 8 people on it. Streaming now. Composing a new song. And what do we call this song? If Yesterday Could Bleed. If Yesterday Could Bleed. And Maybe some of those guys will jump on. Guys and / or gals, in accordance to their physical stature and or personal preference. All right. I'm just kind of thinking maybe if I stick this up to a 3. Oh, that's slightly different there. Okay, let's do. 16th note action going on that. Just filling the bass line with the roots here. At a tempo of 144, those 16th notes probably just end up getting muddy on a bass. So a lot of times I'll turn those into 8th notes. That. And then we get to those 8th notes that kind of kick the idea off to start with. Ooh. See if I can get this in here the way I want it. In this case, I think maybe if I was just to have that very first 8th note on there and let it just be a guitar. I feel like this should not be the root. That better. Got some third action going on the bass there, and this stuff is real simple guitar wise. Yeah, might as well pull this in a bit so it's a little more visible on screen. Not sure how that's going to work. Let's take these down there. So we're going to end up with a couple of Fs. Right, let's take those back. Let's actually take that to a 3 and a 5. Oops, that wasn't what I wanted to do. Not a 4. Well, maybe a 4 and oh, I could do a little of that action. That's not bad. And now I'm thinking a lot of times, you know, I've kind of got this 4 measure thing here. The drums do a repeat, or almost repeat. This fill at the end is slightly different. But I'm kind of thinking in this case, I want to do something a little different now. I think rhythmically, it's probably going to end up being pretty similar, but I'm going to change what's actually going on with the notes. Just a little bit. there would be a little better. And that puts us on a D power chord. Okay, E. We've got an A here. I kind of want to get some contrary motion going in the bass in this case, but I don't get a lot of room to move down. So let's move this to the 5, 4, 5, 8, 7, what about the 6? Okay. Oops. Wrong key. So there we get our tritone action going. Let's see what happens here now. So there again, I want to kind of continue that contrary motion. That'll work. What did I just do there? That seems wrong. Oh, I know why. Sibelius does this weird thing when you copy into tablature, it ignores the key signature. So it assumes A minor. And that is a, in my opinion, a serious defect. I feel like in a lot of these notation programs, the whole concept of a guitar is just kind of an afterthought, which I find just wildly unfortunate. Let's see what that does. That I'm actually not digging too much. I feel like the D works there. Let's fill out the triad. Now, the fact that D is major is just a little too happy for a song like If Yesterday Could Bleed. I don't think that's going to sound any better. Nah. Okay, what are we going to do then? So if we're in F minor, my minors are going to be F, B flat, and C. Let's try taking this down to a B flat. That's kind of workable there. We end up with and then I think if I was to take this to here, and let's just to give a hint of what we did here, we're just going to get those last three. right. And those, of course, should be on here. Oh, we got people in chat. Hey, gang, what's happening? Hi. Just kind of sitting here talking to myself, which is the same thing I'd be doing if I wasn't live. Apologies for the wrong title again. I really need to get better at that. So we got some Red Dwarf trivia up already. Thank you, Doc. What two actors have appeared in every episode of Red Dwarf? I'm going to say Craig Charles is got to be one of them. I know that Rimmer has been absent from some. I am still talking to myself, that's true. So I'm going to say Craig Charles playing Lister. I know that Robert Llewellyn, who plays Crichton, didn't come in until the second season. So obviously not him. I would guess the other one is the cat, played by Danny John Jules. I think it was Chris Berry plays Rimmer, Robert Llewellyn. So I'm going to say Craig Charles and Danny John Jules. Cool. All right. Liking it. Cool. I had to work on that one. I dig it though. That's fun stuff. The cat is just so freaking awesome. So awesome. So here's the question I need to answer is, what is the fifth of an F? And that is a C. And for those, the original Crichton was a different guy. I did not know that. That would have been a great trivia question. I would have got that one wrong. Like something like name the characters who have been played by more than one actor or actress. I know Kachansky's been played by two different actresses. I didn't know about Crichton. I want to say that there's like one other minor character in there who's also been played by that. Who plays it? Yeah, I would have to look that up. There's no way I would get that because I didn't even know it was a different person. I know that the original Crichton was very different, but there was a very robust explanation at the beginning of season 3 that explained why his personality changed. David Ross, nice. Keep an eye on Discord in the next few days. I will do that. I've been meaning to get on Discord more often, but I've actually been kind of busy around the house here rearranging stuff. I have ordered some stuff, a different router that should make it. Right now we actually have two internet connections. We have Starlink and CenturyLink. CenturyLink is very slow, but it's quite reliable. And so what this new router should do is when Starlink takes a step back, CenturyLink should immediately take over. So it should handle the dropouts. Red Dwarf Trivia. On the day the guys celebrate Rimmer's death in Thanks for the Memory, Lister asks Rimmer to tell him what the time is. What does Rimmer, who was very drunk at the time, say? Oh, brutal. Let me give this a dot. That's a C note. Fell out the triad there. And you know, in this case, I'm kind of not digging the A flat notes there. I'm gonna have to fiddle with that. The C is definitely working. That's fine. I kind of feel like the C chords are going to work better in this position on the guitar. Let's just take a listen to this intro section as it currently stands. Somewhere along the line, I deleted a measure. Oh, I see what I did. Okay, so let's put that back in. And, just do this right, just to be silly. Okay, I can work with that. So now we got some backed off drums, and we're going to go for some upbeat guitars. So this is another place. Sometimes I like to really punctuate the bass on something like this. So let's get some 16th notes in there to get a sense of how this is going to feel. Something kind of like that. I think maybe if we were to turn this into a chord here. Let's go ahead with this. Yeah, I think that you got me stumped on this one, bud. If anyone else feels like answering or trying to answer, they're welcome to. But yeah, probably Doc and I are going to be the hardcore dwarfers in this crowd. But hey, it is open to all. Oh, yes, I do vaguely recall that. We go to a quarter note on that one. And probably copy that over. Red Dwarf Trivia. In the episode Camille, when Lister is trying to teach Crichton to lie by naming an apple, orange, and banana another kind of fruit or anything other than what they are, what does Crichton refer to as a small off-duty Czechoslovakian traffic warden? I'm fairly sure it's the banana. I believe that was what he finally went with on the banana. Coffee refill here. Get all the decaf I need. I think we'll get in here. I'm gonna go with something like this. Let's see how that feels. That's right. one. If I recall, that's the one with a bunch of Casablanca references, if I recall correctly. I think I'm going to change this just a touch here. We'll always have parrots. That's right. Good things happening. Good things. Okay, where are we at with our silly little composition here? Red Dwarf Trivia. On which moon of Jupiter was Arnold Rimmer born? Io. He was born on the moon Io. Did I miss it? That's awesome. Digging it. I'm impressed with myself. Actually put this here so that aligns with the drums. I think that's going to work a little better. And do that. Red Dwarf Trivia. Where has Cat just come from when he first appears in the very first episode of Series 1? I think the answer you're looking for is that he popped out of a like a heater grate. But where if you mean where was he prior to that and where did he come from, I don't recall. I remember him popping the grate off the wall. He comes out in his pink suit. I'm not sure if that's what you're looking for. That works a little better. Air vent, okay. That is a better term for it, yes. Okay, what do we got going on with our A section here? I feel like I'm going to need to do an 8-measure section, and then on the second half, fill in the bass a little better. Yeah, Therese, what's going on? Being all shy over there. And I think this is a little too much kind of F all in one place, a little too much root action. So let's take this up to the 2. And we'll take that to the 3 of 2. That's better. I think here we're going to start to fill in the bass a bit more. Red Dwarf Trivia. When Starbug encounters rogue simulants, Crichton explains they consider humans to be the vermin of the universe. What does Cat respond? I think he says, and I'm trying to see if I got this right. I believe he says something about that he didn't even know they had met Lister. Because Crichton kind of says it is it directed toward Lister instead of as the human race in general. It's like something like, I didn't even know they met him, or I didn't even know they met you, or something like that. I didn't even know they'd met him. Quite close. This idea is right, but the execution is not. I do my best, bud. Thanks. That's gonna be a major dyad, which not digging the major idea here. What if I start putting in some sixth action here? Go to a power chord there. Bring this to the 2. You think you asked this one last? Well, if you did, I will refrain from answering it so as not to be unfair to the Mad Poet community at large. Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, it is great. That is a great one. That one is such... I think that one of the great things about that is why didn't they use his feet? Why did they have to hit 53 doors with his head? Do you hear that? No. Do you know why? Because there are no sounds to hear. Beautiful. That's a little better. And now from here, I might actually be able to take this, bump this up to the 3, and make that major make sense. So true. Actually, this might be a good place to go into a... Oh, yeah. See, this is a trick I don't do enough of. Oh, except that's not quite the way I envisioned it. No, okay, that's not going to work out the way I thought it was. F. Oh, because I'm in Phrygian. That totally makes sense. Okay, that was not what I expected to have happen. Because I was totally thinking of F minor rather than F Phrygian. Okay. But if I was to put that up on the 5 and try that same concept there and use the sharp 7 from, so let's do, okay, so let's put this all onto the 5 here. And now this, let's use the sharp 7 there. Now if I get the bass to actually be in the right spot. I like that idea, but I don't think I'm going to put it somewhere else. Okay, what was Rimmer's character name in Gunman of the Apocalypse? Dangerous Dan McGrew. Let's see. Cat was the Riviera Kid. How'd they go? There we go. And Lister was... He was a knife fighter named Brett. I want to say the last name was Riverboat. So I I think I want to take this idea and put this at the end of this section. I think that's going to be a good way to end that. So I'll do something else here. And Crichton had gone into the program to create a Dove program. This is when they were fighting the simulants. It was one of the times they were fighting simulants. They fought simulants a few times. And so he went in to create a Dove program to fight the simulants, and he went in as a sheriff. And I do not remember the name of the sheriff. Man, I'm the worst. You guys should just all just log out and unfollow and never watch me again. That's the only thing I can imagine being viable at this point. We'll see how else it could possibly work. Actually, we're going to have a repeat, so I should put this at the end of both sections, because that's going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That should go there. It might have been. It might have been just plain old the sheriff in that case. I don't know if they ever referred to him by a name. Yeah, no, that's perfectly fair. I understand that. It's reasonable. It's really reasonable. What were the names of the bad guys? Oh, they were... I think they were just the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Death, famine, panic, and boogers, or whatever. I don't even remember what the four horsemen are called in this, which is funny because in the album I'm currently writing, I've got a song called The Fifth Horseman. So yeah, I think it was just the four horsemen of the apocalypse, but I am willing to be corrected on that. Yeah, there was pestilence, war, famine, pestilence, and drug abuse. I should really know the four horsemen of the apocalypse as much as I am into that kind of dark stuff. Okay. I think there should be a 16th note there. Yeah, I think actually these should be 16th notes. One thing that's amazingly cool about Sibelius is they put the selection into the undo history. So if you screw it, if you got to select 32 notes, and on the 30th you accidentally turn them all off, you can just hit Control-Z and they all come back. That is such a beautiful feature. Next painting, the Four Horsemen, according to the Mad Poet. That would be awesome. And I'm putting some 16th notes in here because I had this note in here that I like, that I should have upbeat guitars in this case. And I'm kind of bringing them down a little too slow, I feel. And here, maybe if we just get into some straight 16th notes, that might actually work out pretty well. Again, probably go with 8th notes here. I think run these up to the 3. Give a little better bass line there. Okay, we've got a tough one coming up. What is the name of the girl that remember got off with in his father's greenhouse? Oh, you might have, that is a tough one. You might stump me on this. We've talked about Lisa Yates before. That was a girl that he was with, but a memory was implanted, so he thought that Lisa Yates had been his girlfriend. Yeah, and that was, Yvonne Magruder. That was who he was with on March 16th. We just recently passed the anniversary of his date with Yvonne Magruder. Cassandra predicted falsely and intentionally falsely that he would be with Kachansky, but that was because she wanted revenge on Lister. I like the 16th notes a little better there as well. These, though, I feel like maybe straight 16th notes for two measures might be a bit much. Thank you very much. Answer coming in 3 minutes. Okay, I remember. I remember a greenhouse scene, but that was with Lister as a child, hanging upside down when his brothers decided to turn him into a swing for entertainment purposes. And his mother was kind of mad at him, and he was complaining about how it was hard to think with all the blood rushing to his head because he was hung upside down from a tree. That was in their greenhouse, and I think you may have got a stumper here. This is good. This is good. I think if we just turn these into 8s, put the 5th on for the power chord, and do the same thing here. But move them to where the chord should be. What was Arnold's nickname in childhood? Oh, you are digging deep. So I want to say that we find this out in the first episode where we're introduced to the polymorph. And he's watching home videos, footage from when he was a child, talking about how close he and his brothers were. Now, I know that there was one point that I think was in this episode where they talked about how they would all play the Three Musketeers, but the three brothers would be the Musketeers, and he would be Mary, Queen of Scots. It was on his... Oh, really? Wow. Okay. Yeah. You just flat stuffed me on that one. I do not have it. No. But you know what? I totally should have got that. I should have had that one. Man, I don't know why I have anyone in my life anymore. I think that everyone should have disowned me at this point. Not just Therese. I mean, it should have been like everyone should have been like throwing rocks at me and stuff. This is just absurd. I think that dyad's going to put me back in a major, but I think that's going to work in this case. It's not going to work in this case. So if I do that, I'll just be repeating what's up there on C. What if I did something with B flat? That. And that would actually put this bass line as the root. Yeah, I think that's workable. That adds a decent little bit of movement. Okay, I will have to put that on those strings in. That's fine. I can work with that. Trivia answer, Fiona Barrington. Wow. Yeah, I do not recall that name ever coming up. So you murdered me on that one. Red Dwarf Trivia. In the episode Crichton, all of the Red Dwarf crew dress up to impress the female crew of the Nova 5. Cat outdoes himself with a specially tailored spacesuit. What color is it? Okay. Rimmer dresses up in his Class A's, trying to impress him with basically acting like, and kind of basically dresses up like an admiral. Lister just kind of cleans himself up. I want to say it's pink. But that one, definitely some lack of certainty creeping in. Okay, so I've done 8 measures worth of this riff. And now on the second half, bonus question. What language was Rimmer trying to impress the crew of the Nova 5 with? Esperanto. Okay, so the second half, I'm going to fill in the bass line here. It was gold. Okay. Got the bonus question, failed miserably on the actual question. Failed and shall be held accountable for my actions. Okay, so there, let's take that to the 3. Get a little more interest out of the bass in this one. Do that to 5. That's workable. I got, you tell me that I'm good at this, Doc. I got to tell you, I'm impressed at how many Red Dwarf trivia questions you're able to find. That's impressive. Red Dwarf Trivia. In Body Swap, when Lister accidentally starts the self-destruct sequence of Red Dwarf, what is the name of the officer whose mind they implant into Lister to stop the self-destruct sequence? Okay. Lister was told to touch nothing because the self-destruct had been rewired. He then proceeded to order a milkshake out of a vending machine. That's what activated self-destruct. They decided to do the mind swap. It was a female officer who was very surprised when she awoken to find herself in a male body. See, the thing is, if I try to cheat and, pull it up, you guys will just see me typing on my keyboard and know that I'm cheating. So I don't really have the option. Clue's going to be good on this one. Hey, this is all good. Even the fact that you're pulling them off the net, this is just fantastic. I will tell you this, if you get me into trivia of seasons 9 and later, I will do very poorly. Something's wrong. I never used to be a man. She attempts to stop the self-destruct sequence, but fails. When the countdown finishes, the ship doesn't explode. A milkshake and a crispy bar pop correct out of the dispensing machine instead. They discover that the dispensing machines were connected to the warning, but not to the bomb. Right? Holly, we haven't got a bomb. I got rid of it years ago. And it looks like that got cut off. Holly, I get rid of it ages ago. Kat, why didn't you say? Holly, I think that's you didn't ask. Oh, that's okay. You know, worse things have happened to me. But you know, Therese is probably no longer your friend. She probably disowned both of us at this point. I remember that line. Definitely. Okay, so now I can fill this in to the next section there. And let's see what else we got going. We're all fired. We rightly should be. You're the only one here who hasn't been wrong tonight, Therese. You are the only one. There are like 682 people watching my stream. Plus me makes what, if you add me to that, would be 411. And you're the only one who hasn't gotten things wrong. Absolutely. You rightly should. Okay, looks like we got another intro and A section here, so we'll fill that in. Good. Got a partial intro there, intro and A section there. That fills in quite a bit. Oh, we got a partial A section there. I should have noted that when I was making it. Noted now. Carol Brown, yes. Oh. Yeah, I would not have gotten that. It does hit now that you've mentioned it. So where's this part? Okay, so I basically just had the first half of the intro. And I sometimes will like to do, when I know that I've got two of these partials of a section, I'll put the first half in this one, and then the second half in the second one. But I'm not sure that that's going to work tonight, because that last partial intro is basically an outro. Red Dwarf Trivia. In Back to Reality, Crichton finds he is really a cybernetic detective named Jake Bullitt. That is one of my favorite episodes. So a lot of those ones I'm probably going to get, but it would be really cool to get stumped on a trivia question from that. So feel free to bring them on. I would dig fairly deep on that one. And another of my, I think probably my, it's kind of tough. Feel free to bring it on. If you have one off the top of your head that you're curious about. It's almost a toss-up between Back to Reality and... Now, why don't I even have the answer? Why don't I have the title of the episode? But the one with President Kennedy is just so fantastic. And the title I've got in my head is Ticket to Ride, but that's where Ace comes back. Oh, unknown. I'm just gonna give up on that right away. I have no idea who that was. I can totally picture the person, but if this is an actor that I should know, I don't. I do not know this person. Major comedian and famous talk show host. Get right out of town. This is the guy who was so thrilled by the Indle song. Wow. Yeah, that's gonna happen. So a lot of times when I have something like this going, where it's just gonna kind of fade out to the end like this, I'll just do like some single notes like this, or maybe some power chords. But I'm kind of feeling, in this case, I should put some ostinati in here. Delicious. That was Craig Ferguson? Really? Okay. So I'm going to look at this. I totally believe you, because there's no reason not to, but I'm going to turn the volume down on this so that you guys will be unable to hear it. I don't want to get any kind of a copyright strike, because those just get stupid. But I just have to see this person now. Because this is mind-blowing. Confidence and paranoia. Okay. Playing now. Okay, let's... Wow. Okay, that is that is Craig Ferguson. Craig Ferguson was never that young. He was born old. I really like Craig Ferguson. He has got such good style. He orates extremely well, and his interviews are so top notch. He does such a great job of making them just kind of conversational. Dick Cavett was another one like that, and I feel like Dick Cavett, back from, I think his talk show went for like 15 years, and he really had the basic format that made Joe Rogan famous for his very conversational style podcasts. I've never actually seen Ferguson's stand-up. I've seen his talk show a few times. Wango Tango Time! Welcome to the stream, buddy. Hey, for anyone who's come in a little on the late side, I didn't update my titles again. We're just composing tonight. We're just sitting here fiddling around with composition. And most of it is me answering questions about Red Dwarf. I never would have gotten Craig Ferguson off. Anyway, back to composition, just for kicks. Ostinato, the plural is ostinati. Ostinati, kind of a jumble of notes in a very rhythmic context. And I'm kind of feeling like an ostinato, and particularly, I'm actually inclined to consider going to a 7/8 here. That ostinato sucks. That ostinato sucks hard. That ostinato sucks fish juice. Something like this might be workable. And how far did I go? 3 of those? That might actually be reasonably workable. Pop that down an octave. Put that to the 3rd. Put it on the 5th there. Leave it on the octave there. Now let's put in our hairpin. Okay, I'm not looking at chat here. Doc never sleeps. Okay. Red Dwarf Trivia. In Better Than Life, they choose modes of transport that appear just by thinking of them to drive down a beach. Cat and Lister go on a chopper and Rimmer in a car. What car did he first think of? I can picture the car. I do not know the model. It's got two wheels in the back and one in front, and it's stupid looking, kind of like Rimmer's face. But I don't know what model that car actually is. Cherry Dipper, yes, welcome. I am unable to see who's in chat, but everyone who's coming in, welcome. Thank you. Always a pleasure to have you here. In fact, I don't understand how my viewer count thing works. Right now, I'm showing 0 viewers, so I have no idea how many people are actually watching. Reliant Robin. I'm guessing you had to look that up. So, yeah, interesting. Never heard of it, but it is a dumb-looking little car. Okay, let's put our expression in here. Oops. And let's get a hairpin. Actually, a reverse hairpin, technically. We'll also put that into temperature. Oh, I forgot that because of the way I've got the guitars in here, they will not do the decrescendo, but that'll work for me. We should also put that on the bass. There we go. Hey, that's understandable. That's one my brother may not even have gotten, and he is a car guy through and through. I mean, like, crazy car guy, but I don't know if he would have got that one. Red Dwarf Trivia. What is believed to happen when a mechanoid dies? This is clearly not a belief. This is absolutely solid fact, as demonstrated in the documentary of which we are discussing. But when mechs die, they go to Silicon Heaven. Interestingly, I know you're kind of being tongue-in-cheek there, but as a guitar teacher, I have always talked to the importance of the foundation of music being the drums and bass. Now, of course, we're talking somewhat less generally, but when we're in the rock, pop, metal type genres, blues, drums and bass are what do it. Sorry, Wango Tango. Yeah, I didn't update my show titles. I'm just composing and fiddling around. We are composing music for an upcoming album. The album is called When the Last Heart Breaks, which is not in here right now. The title of the song we are currently composing is also unknown, apparently, because I'm a dork. We are doing a song called If Yesterday Could Bleed. And we're just kind of building this together. So that's what we got going on. Well, so the way I'm using the terminology is more from an engineering perspective. And so I kind of think of the drums and bass as a foundation, and then the rhythm section for these purposes would be more of your rhythm instrument. So if we're talking heavy metal music, what I'm writing right now is the rhythm. That's the So that's exactly what I'm writing right now. So that would be the actual rhythm element. Now, if we look at music more like Elton John, Billy Joel, your instrument that would take up the rhythm area would be a piano, very likely. They do have some guitars in there. It might be a horn section. And so so these are like elements of music kind of spoken about in a different way. I totally get the whole rhythm section being the guitar and the drums and bass. But I'm like I said, I'm speaking of it on a slightly different kind of perspective. Piano can be thought of as a percussion instrument. It can also be thought of as a string instrument. Musical instrument taxonomy is, there's some very brutal discourse that goes on in it. And one of the things there is, how do we identify an instrument? One of the ways we identify an instrument is by how the note is attacked. So on a piano, we do have a percussion attack on a string. So it's one of those things where sometimes discussions of taxonomy of any kind go, in my opinion, way too deep. It's like, if you look at a musician like Bonnie Raitt, is she rock? Is she country? Is she R&B? Depending on the song you're listening to, you are absolutely right on all three of those. And sometimes you hear like her song, I Can't Make You Love Me, it's right in between country and light rock. So, it's like these classifications can be so hard to pin down and so opinionated. So there's definitely some varieties there. Whatever the octopus says is correct. And the octopus says, yata-ta-ta-ta-ta. So that's really musical taxonomy of all kinds in a nutshell. Particularly if the octopus lives in a nutshell. It would have to be a very small octopus or a very large nutshell. But so I'm kind of using these terms from a slightly different perspective. But I did a really interesting experiment with a student once who disagreed of the importance of drums and the lack of importance of guitar. Because I would say that being a guitar player in many of these more popular types, rock, pop, metal types of music, the guitar is actually one of the less important instruments. We had an interesting session where I have some, excuse me, need to start smoking again. I have the multi-track stems for a lot of music. And so I took the multi-tracks for Crazy Train by Ozzy, which has just, this killer iconic guitar riff by Randy Rhodes. And the student argued that if we took that guitar out, the song would be no good. And I said, no, if you take the drums and bass out, the song would be no good. I said, if you reduced it down to just drums and vocals, the song would still work. I was totally right on this one. And we did this. We would take, if you played just the guitar and the vocals, all of the drive of the music is gone. And this is one of my favorite guitar players, Randy Rhodes. Huge inspiration for me. Very influential on my kind of coming of age as a guitar player. And just fantastic work. Terrible. He was a terrible airplane passenger. You do not want to model your airplane passaging off of Randy Rhodes. But his guitar playing was stunning. But when it's reduced down to that, just the guitar and the vocal like that, it was not. It didn't have the power and the drive. But when you heard just the drums and the vocals, it's like, oh yeah, you can still get up and dance to it. It still works. So yeah, the drums and the bass, they drive a lot. I mean, when you had this song just with drums, bass, and vocals, it was killer. It was absolutely killer. Considering that I used to build airplanes and Doc still does, there's some truth to that. You're waiting to see if I answered the above trivia question. The last one I saw was the Silicon Heaven one. Oh, wait, in the episode, Red Dwarf Trivia, in the episode Hollow Ship, who does Rimmer fall in love with? Okay, Russian lady. She falls in love with him as well, which is very illogical for her to do. I think the first name is Katerina. Let me know if I'm right on that much. No. There was a character on the Hollow ship named Katerina, though. Is that correct? Yeah. I can totally picture the gal. But I do not remember what that character's name actually was. Let's say, you know what? I think it's time to compose what I like to call the C section. Because I don't compose in order necessarily. Think of a band that ended in 1994. Whew. Yeah, that really narrows it down. Thanks for the killer clue there, buddy. Oh. Okay, so you're thinking of Nirvana. Was that her name? Okay. No, I did not know that. So we're going to compose the C section here. And I think to do that, we're going to start on the 5, which is in fact a C note. Nirvana Crane. Wow. Oh, you are pulling out some good ones here, baby. Good stuff. Yeah, no, Doc is not a big fan of Nirvana. In fact, we were speaking recently about the band Nirvana. And I love what he said. Now, okay, now I'm gonna. Oh, that was Therese. Sorry, I did not know that Therese hated Nirvana so much. Now I actually do not hate Nirvana. I don't have anything against the band. I think they had some good songs. I don't think they were a great band. I think they are in many ways overrated. I think that some people underrate them. But I will say this about Nirvana. What they got right was feel. The music of Nirvana is exactly how late teens and young adults felt at that time. In the early 90s, that music is, if you want to know what those people felt like, listen to Nirvana. They nailed the correct feeling for their target audience. And that's a hard thing to do. That is a very hard thing to do, and not a lot of people can get that right. But you know, I certainly don't think it's genius. Like a lot of people will say that Kurt Cobain was a genius. That is completely false, and I'm not going to be able to get behind that. But they nailed the feeling, and music is all about feel. So from that perspective, okay, you know, I'm kind of going to give them that. And I will also say that Kurt Cobain was he was very good at storytelling, and that's I always appreciate a song that tells like one of my favorite country personalities is Clint Black. That's basically where I got into country. Well, I shouldn't say that. I've always been into country, but that was where I got into some of the more newer country. I was more into the older, you know, John Denver and Old Hank and Hank Jr. and stuff like that. But Clint Black is great with the story. And there's a particular one, a song called Goodnight Lovin'. And it's about this, like, this soldier who can't get back into regular life after a war, and he describes him as being on this trail. There's a man on the Goodnight Lovin'. The Goodnight Lovin' is the name of this trail that he's on, and it's just such fantastic imagery that So that certainly I'm not gonna put Kurt Cobain on the level of Alice Cooper, Clint Black, or Bob Dylan. Those are some of our great stories, particularly Alice Cooper and Bob Dylan. There's some stories in their lyrics, but I will give them that. So anyway, what I was saying was so funny was what Doc said was something about the irony about the song "Half the Man I Used to Be" by Nirvana, which is exactly what Kurt Cobain became with his little shotgun incident. Oh, and he has now pointed this out. So let me get to the Red Dwarf Trivia. If you are Dave Lister, where is the ideal place to store your sneakers? I believe it's the refrigerator. Smashing Pumpkins did some great stuff. Absolutely. Yes. Okay. And this section, I don't think I want just straight 16th. A lot of times I'll do that, and it's sometimes more of kind of a death metal, black metal feel. I definitely don't want that here, so I'm going to get into a little more rhythmic variation in this. But I'm thinking in a case like this, if I were simply to move this to the, do the 5-1 dominant harmony move here. That actually works really poorly. Really poorly. Wow. That should not have worked that badly. Easy one, give it to me. Red Dwarf Trivia. What is Rimmer's rank on the Red Dwarf spacecraft? He is second technician, Arnold J. Rimmer. Let's try a 5-4 move. I think the reason the 5-1's not working for me all that well is because of the whole Phrygian thing. Let's take this back up to the 5 here. I don't know if I'm digging that. Okay, making this one up. Make it up. That's okay. I'm making this whole song up, so do your thing, baby. Because that's just kind of how I write songs, by making them up. I kind of have to do it that way. Red Dwarf Trivia. On Nova 5, why did Crichton ask Rimmer if he is a doctor? That's a very fine question, my young friend. I think maybe putting this on fret 6 might be a little more convenient. Let's see how that plays. If I could hold a guitar pick. Yeah, okay, that'll work. I can do that. Why did Crichton ask Rimmer? Oh, because, oh, yes, right. I remember now. This is because Crichton was introducing everyone to the crew of the Nova 5, an all-female crew. And Crichton made a medical diagnosis of the crew. Rimmer made a medical diagnosis of the crew with which Crichton disagreed. Rimmer's diagnosis was that the crew were dead. And so Crichton, I think, wanted some sort of, credentialed opinion on this. It turns out that he was right, Rimmer, in this case. Smashing a pumpkin, making it look like Kurt Cobain. Fantastic. Love it. Okay, good. I got that one right. Beautiful. All righty then. Oh, and I think a while back we were talking about that Commander Root thing. I found Commander Root is a bot. And I think it has something to do with collecting stats for Twitch. I could be wrong about that. I could be wrong about that. So, all right, where are we at here? I feel like this might take, so if we're on the 3 now. This might take me a little more reasonably down to the 1, but I'm not sure if I want to actually reach the root quite yet. I'm thinking I might actually delay the root until measure 5. Yeah, I really wasn't sure, so I had to look it up. And I did some research. Apparently, people have asked about it because everyone gets Commander Root watching them. And it's like, Commander Root can't be watching this many streams. I think I should actually put this here, which will lead me on a 2-1 movement to get to the root in measure 4. And now what is the 5 of 2? Would be our 6. What if I went to the 6, which in this case would be a D flat? How do you guys feel about that? While you think about that, let me read this question. Red Dwarf Trivia. In the episode Parallel Universe, each of the characters finds their sexual opposites on another Red Dwarf ship. When Holly and Hilly appear on the computer screen together, they have obviously been kissing. What does Hilly claim the lipstick on Holly's cheek is? Oh, woohoo! Digging deep. Okay, great episode. Fun characters in these episodes. Who doesn't? I mean, okay, here we go. Music theory trivia. D flat is the enharmonic equivalent of what note? Therese may know this. D flat is not the enharmonic equivalent of 42. Because D flat is the enharmonic equivalent of Satan's. I was going to say a word that I don't say on stream. Satan's naughty bits. We'll put it that way. Good stuff. Beautiful. All right, so we were looking at the D flat here. So let's put a D flat note in. And there's a D flat note. I'm just kind of wondering if galloping across this little section might work. No, it is in fact the enharmonic equivalent of a C sharp. Basically, like if you have a black key on a piano, the two different names for it, that term is enharmonic equivalent. In rare cases, you will sometimes see a C flat, which is enharmonic equivalent of a B, or a B sharp, an enharmonic equivalent of a C. Those are quite rare. Yeah. Hey, it was a song about that. Ebony and Ivory together in perfect harmony. I am really bad with emotes. I see a face palm. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get this one. I'm not feeling sanguine about the possibility of me getting the answer on this particular question. I am feeling quite sanguine about putting a D flat in here and finding some rhythmic device to make it work. A computer rash. Oh! I probably should have got that. Therese is going to be left with no friends after tonight. I don't think this is going to work rhythmically for me, but let's just see how this D flat works without the gallop. Where am I even at now? Totally lost myself. Okay. Monty Python trivia. What did the knights of Nick request that King Arthur and his men bring them? I'll tell you, I'm not going to do nearly as well on Monty Python trivia as I am going to do on Red Dwarf. The Hitchhiker's Guide novel is a good one I'm good at. But they wanted a shrubbery. They also wanted me to do some better rhythmic devices on this particular section of the song. Therese is probably better at Monty Python than I am. I really like Monty Python, but I haven't actually watched a ton. Let's get some eighth note power chord action. Actually, these maybe dyads. Oh, you know, where am I? I'm on 6. Oh, now this could be an interesting device here. This could be an interesting device. Okay, what if I was to do 6, 1, and then go to 6 sharp 7? You know, this might look better here. Let's drop those into 8th notes. And let's actually spruce this. So we're on D note. So let's take this. F is going to be our 3. Let's do a 5 and put a 6 in. So we'll have 6 of 6, leading us to the root. And now here, what if I put the sharp 7 in the bass as well? Maybe not. D flat. Oh, because that would, okay, the sharp 7 wouldn't work there because I'm on the 7 of 6, which is a has to, so that would not work. Okay, so that's fine. But I could put let's leave that on the root. Let's go sharp 7. Right, because on the 6 I'm using the 7 as the 2 of 6. That makes sense. Okay, and then let's actually drop this back to the 5 to lead us more effectively into the... That's kind of cool. How does this sound on my old guitar? I can get behind that. Monty Python trivia. When Arthur chopped off one of the Black Knight's arms, what did the Black Knight say? "'Tis only a flesh wound." Oh, the coconut shells. That was a fun scene. Bring out your dead. Okay, now here, basically what I was, this whole 4 measure section is basically just leading us up to the root. So let's go ahead and put that in. And now I think I'm going to get some ringing out action. "'Tis but a scratch." No, I think Therese is right. I think that the flesh wound one does come up, but I think that's later. Yeah, I think that Therese has got this one. Like I said, I'm not surprised that Therese is better at Monty Python than me. That fits her personality. Oh, we don't want a 5th in the bass, do we? No. There we go. Okay, let's straighten this out here. Okay, now let's do some 8th note action on the root. Take that to the 2. And we'll do a double dotted half note. Should that have been a quarter instead? I think I'm going to delay the quarter note to the next measure. But I want that to be I don't want to do 2-1, but I do want a half step move. What if I was to do a 1 flat 7 here? 1. I'll do a quarter note. I'm going to take this, not flat 7, but a sharp 7. Oh, that's not the 1. Let's actually take that to a 1. There's my root. Let's take this to a 7. Let's sharp that 7. So we'll have an E natural power chord. And that's going to put us on an E and a B flat. And I do not want a B flat. I want a B au natural. Oh, wait. I had that on a C. So that should be B natural, not a C natural. That makes more sense. Okay, now let's get this into a dotted half note. Oh. Okay, where are we at here? Red Dwarf Trivia. In the theme song, after it says, I want to lie shipwrecked and comatose, drinking fresh mango juice, what kind of fish is mentioned immediately after this line? Monty Python Trivia. What do the self-defense students learn to defend against? So the fish are goldfish, and I have no idea on the students learn to defend themselves. That one I don't have. Wait, the fish? Wait a minute. Fruit? What fruit? Banana? Yeah. Goldfish shoals nibbling at my toes. I'm not sure if I'm digging the sharp 7 in this case, but I feel like if I were to quarter note-ify that should really be a standard music term. What if I was to take that to the 6? Here. Use a sharp 6 to get to the sharp 7. We'll half note-ionize this thing. And then... Okay, so there's my 6. 7. E. So yeah, D. Flat would be my 6. There would be my sharp 6. Okay, so that's going to have to invert there. What if I imply that without the root? We'll give, okay, now if I go to a sharp 7, so I'm going to have a... Okay, so this gets kind of funky because I'm doing this as if I'm writing in... So I got to basically borrow this from that sharp 7 from the Aeolian, so that's going to give my 3 as a minor 3. So I need a G note here. Let's see if that works. That's not bad. This could lead us in a good direction. In fact, it might, lead us into a key change, and I'm in favor of that. Pointed stick. Okay. Red Dwarf Trivia. In Series 4's DNA episode, what does Rimmer say he can't believe he's running away from? I think it's a chicken vindaloo. Whew. I remember the scene. Unsure. Monty Python Trivia. The soldiers on the drill square were dismissed one by one. What was the last thing the sergeant major dismissed the remaining soldiers for? Yeah, I do not know that. Yeah, I'm willing to be wrong on that one. I think you might have me stumped on that one again. That might be a stumper. Okay, so do I have the 3 correct on this, or should that have been? So if I'm on the 6, so should that have been an F sharp instead of F on the 6? And I'm sharping the 6. So I got to think in Aeolian now. So we're now in melodic minor. So what if I make that an F sharp? F sharp. Okay, I've got an F sharp. Okay, so I put the, okay, so that should be natural. I don't like that. I like it better. Whatever I did here didn't make the right kind of sense to me, but I kind of like the way it sounded. So, okay, so basically I put in a sharp 3. Interesting. If I just took this to a D natural now. Wait a minute. Oh, to an E flat. What if I took that? Oh, that could work actually. So if that's on an E flat, I'll put that on its 3. It's kind of a funky bit of, so I've got this student who's just fantastic. And I don't remember any of that. Huh. So anyway, I've got this student, and she's fantastic. She does a lot of composition. Check her out at dustyguitarmusic.com. She does a lot of choral composition. She's super cool. And so she really likes dissonant music, and she does dissonant music very well. So she'll come up with these ideas, and I'll always say, okay, how did we get here? And so that's the question I'm asking myself now. It's like, I like this. And that's always, I tell my students this all the time. The only justification you need is, I like the way it sounded. But I always like to be able to go deeper and know why I did something and had it work. Cool. Oh, God, cool. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are like light years beyond me on the whole Monty Python. But feel free to, amongst yourselves, do your thing. That is perfectly cool. Perfectly cool. I'm just fiddling around with some stuff here. Just fiddling. All right. So I'm going to get back to analyzing this music and coming up with some sort of a reason for what happened. So we got... So I know what I was trying to do, and I failed at it, but it still worked in a different way, though. So basically, okay. So I'm in F Phrygian. I pulled this chord, so we end up being on the root chord. I've got its 3 here. Okay, wait, no, that's... Okay, no, that throws everything. Oh! Okay, so I've got like an A major... So what I've done is I've represented both the major and minor third. And so the question is, do we now just consider this 3 to be an augmented 2, or do we consider this... See, that wouldn't make as much sense, because that's the 3 that occurs naturally. So it's more like I've got a flatted 4. What if I just took this to the 4? That actually, I think, might work a touch better. I think I do like that better, because that flatted 4 is an interesting dissonance, and I certainly don't dislike it. But that's always... there's a chord that's commonly referred to. If D'Artagnan was watching, he would be about to get mad, because he hates this term. A former student of mine, another very cool guy, does a lot of jazz type playing. There's a chord known as the Hendrix Chord, because we hear it in Hendrix's music all over the place, and it's known as a 7♯9 chord. And what it does is it has this juxtaposition of both a major third, this is our root, this is a major third, this is a minor third. Enharmonically, as we discussed earlier, just like we can have enharmonic equivalents with letters, we can also have enharmonic equivalents with numbers. So that the minor third is also known as a sharped 2. So I'm kind of playing with that kind of an idea, which is cool. And so it gives me kind of a bit of a dominant feel here on the 2. Now, if I was actually to go to the 4, I would be doing a Neapolitan 6th. But I don't know. Wait a minute now. Neapolitan... Wait, no. Because no. It would not be a Neapolitan 6, because I'm not on the 2. I'm on the root. But I'm using the root as a stand-in for the 6. So I think what I need to do is represent the 6, which I have not yet done. So if I'm on the root... That I think I'm digging a little better. So now, except I should have a sharp 6. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Oh, Red Dwarf Trivia. This one's for me. Lister gets a leech stuck to his neck in terror form. It has a human face. Who does it resemble? I would have gotten the Bright Side of Life one, but the leech resembles Rimmer. If I recall correctly, IIRC, as the kids are saying these days. Incorrect. Oh, wait, I'm thinking of... Am I? Okay, I'm clearly thinking of a different episode then. What does it resemble? Ooh. Oh yeah, I think you got me stumpified on that one, baby. Okay, so what do I got? I got a D sharp here. I'm going to put this up here so I can analyze this chord a little better. So that would be my 6. So there's my triad. So I got a sharp 6. And the F. So the 6, the root. And then I have this A. Oh! So I've gone into an augmented chord here. Okay. Rimmer's mom. I'm going to have to watch that episode again. I'm actually going to open the folder so that I know to do that. I'm trying to remember what season that was in. Oh, okay, got it. Season 5. Yeah, I've got that highlighted here to watch that later on. Psychopathic Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. I do recall that now. That's excellent. I love this. This is so good. You are coming up with some good stuff. Okay, so if I'm on the 6, okay, I need to look at I'm going deep. I'm going deep on this. Question is, how am I going to come up with a guitar solo to go over this? I may not. So if I'm on my 6, so I'm on the 6 of a, but I'm basically a melodic minor at this point. But this doesn't match up with a melodic minor either. Where am I? So. Sharp 6. Wait a minute. D sharp is an E flat. So I should, okay, so my sharp 6, oh, and harmonic equivalence. I should not have an augmented chord here. I should not have an augmented here. I should have a D natural. Oh, right. Yes, D natural. So the D natural. Okay, I hit the wrong key. I put a sharp sign on it, which is a doubly sharp 6, which is the same as, it's an enharmonic equivalent of a 7. So I don't want that. So this should be natural. And now that will render us. So that'll render us. That makes more sense. That I'm going to roll with. Okay. What does Prince Herbert want to... Oh, no idea. Okay, in Terraform... Excuse me. Red Dwarf Trivia. In Terraform, aspects of Rimmer's personality that have died, such as generosity, honesty, etc., are in a cemetery. Which personality trait has a tiny gravestone? Give me a moment on this one. Okay, I want to hear the C section here. Let's listen to the C section. Okay, so now the question is, what chord is this leading me to? Right back to the root. That works. Okay. That's kind of cool. That's kind of slick. I'm going to listen to that one more time. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we have completed the C section. And it is a success. So let's put the C section back. Let's see now. So let's see how this works going into the intro. That should be fine. Oh yeah, that works. That actually works nicely. And that same thing will occur here. Yeah. Yes, this is kind of coming out all right. Red Dwarf Trivia. Tiny Grit Zone. I want to say it's confidence, but I also think that's wrong. Yeah, Doc will also definitely be better than me at Monty Python trivia. But this would be cool to get our little community playing these kind of trivia games off on the side of the shows and stuff. BT Dub, for anyone who's wondering, tomorrow night will be the patron saint of murderers. Hopefully I will remember to update my stupid titles before then, since I'm a knob. Yeah, definitely playing Patron Saint of Murderers last night, and hopefully Glenn will make it for that, because he was asking about that. I know his favorite song is on there, The Castle of the Crimson Knight, which is kind of one of my favorites too. That's a pretty kicking tune. So we've got a B section and a small break section in this. Left to right guitars and bass for, but I think I'm going to kill it for the night. I'm getting really hungry, and I still need to exercise. I'm still going to be up for 5 or 6 hours because I'm a night owl. But food's going to have to happen. I think it might be French toast time because I have a fresh loaf of wheat bread. Red Dwarf Trivia in Polymorph 1. What does Lister first get attacked by? Lister first gets attacked by a sausage. You got it, gangsters. You guys have a great night. Thanks so much. Anyone who might be new out there and watching, thanks for stopping in. Had a fun time. Tomorrow night will be live performance. My 55th album, Patron Saint of Murderers. We should have a good time with it. You guys have a great night. I was pretty sure I was right on that one, Doc. All right, gang.